on, everybody? And thanks for tuning back in to another episode of Florida Prison Talk. I've been hearing a lot of y'all subscribers say this is Florida Prison Talk. Why you stop you doing the state of Florida? We back in the state of Florida with my boy Goonie. We're gonna start this interview off in the Jit camps because everybody is always curious of how does a white boy pan out in the Florida Jit camps? That is the biggest question. Let's get right into this, man. What age was you when you first went to prison?
I went to prison at 16 when I first fell.
Okay, and we're gonna get into what you went to prison for in the second interview. I got to get this first one out.
All right.
What was the first Jit camp you hit?
First Jit camp I hit was Lancaster.
Okay, you hit Lancaster. Let me ask you this: was you familiar with the Jit camps, or did you learn that in the county or reception? When did you start hearing talk about Jit camps?
I mean, everybody here to talk about it when they're in the county. You know, you hear about it in juvenile centers, what it's like up the road with them boys, but you never really know what you're in for. Because people got all types of crazy stories, so you never really know what to expect. But that's just a whole different ball game when you get there.
And that's what I'm gonna ask you. So no matter what they said about the Jit camps, when you got there, they had nothing on what you heard, did it?
That shit was unreal. That shit was unreal compared to what you expect.
You a white boy in the Jit camps. When you first got to that Jit camp, how long did it take for you to get into a fight or some kind of violence? To immediately?
It took probably like 2 hours. I'd say when I got into South Florida Reception Center, leaving the county. I was 16. I weighed like 130 pounds, probably like 5'4". I'm talking about small. Just leaving the county. I was in the county for like a year and a half. I ain't know what to expect. So I go in there, you know, obviously ready to fight, but not knowing how that shit was gonna go down. So I get in there, I go into the cell at South Florida and beat on them in the cells over there with the Jits. Within 2 hours, when we come out the cells, I got people hollering at me, "Hey, yo, what's up? White boy, where you from?" "Yeah, I'm from Fort Myers. What's up? Who you rock with?" That's the first question they gonna ask. Hold on 1 second. That's the first question they gonna ask in the Jit camp. Who you rock with? That's like, what gang you with or whatever. So I'm like, shit, what you mean who I rock with? I don't know what that is. So I go, okay, tighten up. You neutron, tighten up. Tighten up, what's that mean? I don't know what none of this means, but I'm guessing this is why I'm gonna fight somebody now, I'm guessing. So I go in the cell with the dude who's in the cell next to me. I go in there and square up with him. Next thing you know, I'm getting hit from behind by 3 or 4 people. I can't even tell you to this day because it all happened so fast. And the cell's so small, you can't tell what's going on. You just know it's a million people around you. I feel like it's 100 people. It's probably about 3 or 4 of them. Got out of there. Dude was like, "What's up? You want to fight again? We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting." I'm like, "Shit, I'm going to fight every time, bro. I got a lot of time. Y'all ain't getting nothing out of it. This is how it's going down. I got a lot of time to do, and this is what it's going to be." So dude was like, "All right, let's go. Let's fight again." So whenever I got in there the second time, he seen I was dead serious, and they're like, "Nah, you good. You gonna see what's up when you hit the main camp." So that was the first experience, which was at Jit camp orientation, basically like your reception center. But I ain't know, you don't know where you're going at that point. You just on orientation. You don't know if you're gonna go to Sumter, Lancaster, Lake City at the time, because Brevard and Indian River were shut down. But at that time, Lancaster was the worst spot to go. Nobody want to go to Lancaster. I'm thinking I'm 16 or 17 at the time when I came up there. And usually at that time you go to Sumter. But I had a psych profile because I was on psych meds. So I ended up going to Lancaster because of that. Man, you already know. I'm on the bus on the way to Lancaster, like, boy, it's about to go down. And it's so crazy whenever you get to Lancaster, people that been there, they'll tell you on the bus, they'll be like, "Look, man, when we get here, y'all boys be quiet and everybody put your heads down when they open up the back door on the bus, when we pull up." You don't know why, they just say, "Bro, just put your head down, trust me." Well, as soon as that back door opens for them new games, them officers come in there. They crazy at Lancaster. They come in there. Everybody put your mother head down. Nobody put your head up. Everybody quiet. Somebody always gonna look up and say, what? The first one to do it gets slapped. This is the officer. He gonna slap you so hard, everybody else gonna immediately get into shape. Like, oh man, hold on. Let me put my head down. I'm putting my head down into my kneecaps. And that's the start of the ball game right there.
Damn. So when you lined it up in the cell, when you got the lane, you had to do another. That's the whole new one.
Oh yeah, a whole new one. That don't count for nothing back then. That ain't nothing. That don't mean nothing. Yeah. Everywhere you go, if you ain't already got a reputation that people know you and somebody can vouch for you, that's what it's gonna be everywhere you go. So you got the thing with the Jit camp, everybody trying to make a name. That's why there's so much violence in the Jit camp, because everybody want to make a name for themselves. It's all about reputation. Everybody want to outdo each other. How many people I stabbed, how many people I uncut. You know, it's like a competition almost. So you got to compete with some crazy ass kids, which at the time I'm on that level because I'm like, man, I got a lot of time to do. I'm ready to do whatever. So I'm getting in there with a mindset like, man, they just got to kill me. You know what I'm saying? They got to kill me. I get over there to Lancaster. You got to do a little 2-week orientation process. And it's called the Orange Hats. During this process, you got the whole compound of dudes that been there already. They seeing you. And they selling out. They like, okay, we got them new cots, boy. Wait till y'all hit them doors, boy. You mine. You finna break it off. You mine, boy. You better not come to beat on or whatever. Beat on was the worst door. They called it the dungeon. Nobody want to go to beat on. That's for the highest custodies. I came in with the highest custody. So I go straight to beat on. Oh man, I'm in the dungeon now. At this time, I'm neutron, unaffiliated, just hit prison, 17 years old. Small as hell, took up through there, went through hell. I got these dudes stepping me to Tampa. They called the Sevens. That's like a Tampa gang. They come up to me first. Hey, who you rock with? Man, I don't rock with nobody. I'm Dolo. So I already know where this is going. All right, tighten up right now. Tighten up. I ain't even put my mat on my bed yet. I still got everything in my hand. I ain't even put my stuff on my bed yet. I'm just walking in. Like 3 steps in the door. They went at the doorway for everybody coming in. Okay, let's go. So I go in the bathroom, line up with the first dude. It's the second thing. It's the second time it happened. Same way. I get hit from behind. I'm in the air. Before I know it, I'm 10 feet in the air, getting slammed right on my head. And getting jumped so bad, right? I had a dude jump off the top of the sink onto my stomach, and it like busted something like the lining in my stomach. So I'm throwing up blood that night, and the next day I end up getting outside medical to Lake Butler on a medical hold for 6 months, and the Jit going over there. And it's just bad over there. It's so horrible conditions over there. I ended up coming back to Lancaster though. Whenever I got back to Lancaster the second time from the outside medical, they see me and they like, man, you look familiar, bro. You been here before? I'm like, look, bro, I'm goonie. I've been here before. I just left this place on outside medical. Y'all just flipped me, and guess what? I'm back. I could have been gone. I could have told you know, they give you the option. Hey, you need protection. If somebody do this to you and you get shipped, you won't have to go back. I told them, no, I'm good. I feel, man, everything's straight. So when I come back, they like, okay, this little white boy serious. He done came back into the field, right back into the same dorm. After this happened, he could have been gone. Yeah, I'm right back. So at that point, get my respect. That's like a.
I think you're breaking up, Goonie. You're breaking up. Let's see. All right, we're back. Okay. So you went to out, came back. Came back. So with that being said, you should have been good after that, right? Or did you still have to fight?
I still end up fighting because that's just how the Jit camp is. Like you're gonna stay in something. It's inevitable. It don't matter who you are. You're gonna stay in something because somebody always gonna push a little extra. It don't matter if you got the strongest reputation there. Like I said, everybody competing. So you could be known as the craziest dude there, the most violent dude there, and there's gonna be somebody up and coming who wants your spot. He want to be the craziest dude. So he gonna test you. And it ain't just one dude. It's a lot of people that want that spot. So that's just how it's gonna be. The harder you going, the more problems it seems like. But the harder you going, the less problems. You know what I'm saying? Because you already got your respect. It's just like there's no way around the conflict. There's no way around it. The only way around the conflict is to be what they call a jizzle, which means you're breaking it off. You're paying somebody to protect you. You're paying the gang to protect you. Somebody like basically keeping you in harm's way, but you like looked at as the bottom of the bottom. You get no respect. You ain't got no say so with nothing. Your word means nothing. You like just stay quiet. You probably be cleaning somebody's clothes. You know what I'm saying?
I heard you say earlier that at the time you wasn't affiliated. Are you affiliated now?
Yeah, later on, so later on I ended up getting in with the G's. After that, I got my big brother Duval. He's still in prison right now. He introduced me into the IGDs, which is part of the Gangsta Disciples.
Okay. And let me ask you this: when you was at these JIT camps, you held your own. You was going at it. What are the other white boys going through that's next to you?
Man, they looking at me like I'm crazy. Cause I ain't gonna lie, honestly. And people might not want to hear this because you know everybody come home from prison or JIT camp, whatever, say they was living like this. Nobody ain't gonna tell you that they was a punk. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't gonna tell you that. They gonna say, oh yeah, I stood my ground. But truth of the matter is, it's probably 10% of white boys that go to JIT camp that's actually living like that actually make a name for themselves. Out of 90% that don't. And out of them other 90%, maybe all of them ain't paying, or maybe all of them ain't at the bottom of the totem pole, but they know to stay out the way.
Gotcha.
They know to stay quiet, stay out the way, and avoid problems. But see, you got the 10% like me. I'm right in the middle of the conflict because I grew up in the black neighborhoods. I grew up around all this. I've been through all this, so I'm already adapted to this lifestyle. So I'm like, man, I don't give a damn what y'all say. This is me.
Right.
Like, you can't get away with this.
Right.
So,
okay. Did you join the Gangsta Disciples in a JIT camp or the adult camp?
I ended up getting affiliated in the JIT camp. Like, as far as I was kind of locked in with them boys, like that's what I was leaning towards. But I ain't find the right person that I was able to really connect with that I felt like I wanted to come in on it. Once I hit the adult camp, I did find a person. He got a 30-year sentence and came in as a JIT just like me. So me and him ended up getting real tight, and I ended up coming in with him.
Okay. And being white in a black gang, did you have to prove yourself more than the black people around you? Like you have to go harder?
Absolutely. Still to this day. And I done been in it years now. I mean, still to this day. Even being well known, I mean, like I got the respect level. Now I'm older and I've had all the experiences, but still to this day it's gonna be like that. Like the white boy in prison is always looked at like maybe you ain't living like that. We wanna know. As far as the black coming in, one of my brothers, he's not gonna have the same issues I have because he's already accepted. Like, okay, yeah, you probably living like that. You know, it's gonna accept it as that. But I'm gonna have to go in. I'm gonna have to bust somebody up. I'm gonna have to do something. You know what I mean? That's usually what I do. I try to set the tone. If they don't know me, I try to set the tone and catch somebody where I can go ahead and set the tone and let them know, hey, yeah, Goonie's a real one.
Got you. And you with these JIT camps and stuff, like, how much time do you got to serve? How much time do you have?
I came in with a 20-year mandatory sentence. When I was 16, they gave me 20 years mandatory for a big robbery case out there in Fort Myers. I ended up fighting it through the years, getting it down to 10 years.
Okay.
But I mean, it was a hell of a ride through the whole thing. I'll say that.
Got you. At what point? Because when you was in the JIT camps and you got people was giving you tests of hearts and stuff. Did the roles ever change that when people giving you tests of hearts?
Hell yeah. It's how I gotta go. You go from little dog to big dog. It's like somebody told me like this, and this is the best way I can explain it. He said it's all sharks and minnows. Either you're gonna be a shark, you're gonna be a minnow. So when you first come in the pond, you a small fish. But once you start growing in there, you a big fish now. And you gotta play the role. And that's just how it is. That's what's expected of you. And it's like you don't come with that mindset, but you're gonna end up with that mindset. That's just how it is.
Let me ask you about the transition. Do you remember when your transition came from fist fighting to weapons? Did you ever make that transition? How did that happen?
Yeah. That transition comes whenever you like. It's hard to really, especially as a Jit, it's hard to really do a lot of damage in a fist fight to somebody to where you can eliminate the threat further. Like, okay, I might know a dude is dangerous, and me and him became enemies. Now we're going at it every chance we get. So we can fight, keep fighting, and I know eventually it's gonna escalate to something further. So I'd rather beat him to the punch than to be the victim in the situation. And you see what happens whenever you come out with a weapon in prison, and you go at somebody with any kind of weapon. It's like it opens a whole new level of respect. It's crazy because in prison, people respect violence more than anything else. It don't matter how much money you got, how smart you are. That don't count for nothing. If you violent person, you got more respect than anything else.
And let me ask you, being a white boy, when you went in there, you were holding your own. Did the white guards have a respect for you, being that you were the white boy that held your own?
Absolutely, yeah. That's definitely a case because a lot of the prisons like country white officers and stuff, and they get mad a lot of times because they see a lot of the white guys coming in, being soft and getting put down on by the blacks, by the Spanish, by everybody else. So they got no respect for them. Like they don't got no respect for them at all. They feel like if they were in that position, they'd be handling themselves different, which they probably wouldn't, but they feel like they would. So whenever they see somebody that is, they let you get away with a lot of stuff. Like I've had a lot of situations in the JIT camp where the officer caught me fighting or caught me in an altercation and seen that I was pushing the level and let me slide just off that, like, and pull me to the side like, hey, keep it up, boy, you're doing good.
Got you. But on the flip side of that, let me ask you this now. Now you're in a black gang. How do the officers look at you now?
Well, whenever they find that out, they lose some respect because a lot of them racist, I ain't gonna lie. Which, I mean, it don't care. I just smile at them and keep it pushing.
Gotcha.
You know, I'm just living my life. I didn't come from the same background as them. So
That's
to
right.
me, I'm where my family is. You know what I'm saying? This is where I feel right at. I don't feel right with whatever they think I should be part of. You know.
Got you. How about I heard that they got a white gang in there, the Unforgivens. Have they ever came at you a certain way, being that you were a black gang? Has any problems came from them?
Nah. Usually they got a lot of respect for me. They value me because I'm putting on regardless. Because I'm putting on for the white boys regardless. So they like, yeah, you know what? They like, boy, I wish you would have came on the other side over here, but regardless of the fact, you're still putting on 10 toes. So they're gonna love me regardless because of that.
Okay. When when you first went to Lancaster, which gang? Because this was confusing me. Like you joined the G's, but when you were at Lancaster, who had the most numbers? What gang? Was it the Bloods?
Bloods had the most numbers at the time, but it changes so much at the JIT camp because the gangs are always going to war with each other. So it might be Bloods this week, and then they go to war with Crips or something. Well, there usually ain't a lot of Crips, but they might go to war with G's, and we end up getting upper hand at whatever camp it is. And now we got more numbers. We got more numbers on the pound. You know, more pull, whatever. But it flips so much over there. But usually it's the Bloods and the Cutthroats at that time because they got so many members that choose to join.
Okay, and it's gonna be a hit that like and subscribe button, y'all. This interview is fire. This is part one of many. Ask you this, bro. Speak about it. What wars have you been to since you've been in prison with other organizations?
Uh, I remember one we had when I was at Lake City, and like I said, this time I'm rocking with all the G's over there. So you got it was actually with cutthroats who really like we tied up like family with them. When we got into it with something about them, one of our people got flipped by theirs in another dorm, and we seen it, and we're like, hell no, all y'all gotta tighten up,
Right.
because that's, I mean, it's just, even though we're supposed to be tied, that's family against family. It's going, we gotta redeem ours, and that was like probably 15 on 15. It was about to even match, but that shit went down for probably like 5 minutes straight.
Damn, that's a
Yeah,
long ass time, bro.
yeah, it was ratchet. I was so
Did
preoccupied.
did they transfer everybody out or?
Yeah, they transferred pretty much everybody. A couple of us got skated by because we weren't on the camera, so we didn't get
Gotcha.
seen in the incident. Like me, I was fortunate enough to be on a spot that was underneath the camera, so I didn't get seen.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
I mean, that wasn't by my choice. That was just by my positioning.
Got you. What was the biggest difference, man, when you went from the JIT camps to the adult compounds? What was the biggest difference you noticed?
I say the biggest difference is in the adult camps, people more focused on, like, okay, it's more respectable in adult camps to be getting money and stuff like that. Whereas in the JIT camps, it's more respectable to be catching bodies. So you go into adult camp, you've been in JIT camp for a while, you go to adult camp with the mindset like, okay, I know what I need to do. I'm looking for the opportunity to go ahead and set the tone. Over there, they looking at you like, gee, you need to sit down somewhere and
Right,
get you some money.
right, right,
So
right.
that's the big difference right there. You gotta start chilling, and if you want to be in the mix, you gotta start getting involved and a little hustle or something, some kind of way. That's the only way you really are somebody.
Okay. So it's not much money making going on in the JIT camps, is it?
Not really, nah. Nobody
Okay.
ain't focused on that.
I got you. I got you. They focus on staying alive. Huh? Let me ask you this though. What was the we're gonna close part one soon. What was the worst test of heart you seen? Where you was like, damn, man, that was crazy.
Uh, okay, over at Lancaster and over at Beat Arm, you had this Chico get killed. It was actually by some more. It was actually by some more Spanish. It was his own people. He did something when he came in. He didn't get TOH off rip. He got spared already, which is a no-no. You don't want to get spared because people are looking at you like you might not have made it through. You got spared off somebody's face, but we don't know if you would have made it through. So you really ain't got the respect. You just all right.
Gotcha.
So he already got spared coming in. He ended up doing something stupid amongst them. So they ended up flipping. They gonna give him a TOH now. He was only there for like 2 weeks, I think. And when they gave him his TOH, they hit him so hard, and they were kicking him in his ribs and all that. And one of his ribs broke, and I guess it was like pointed in towards his lung. And he kept complaining he couldn't breathe. So one of the dudes in there gave him an inhaler, like, here, hit the inhaler. So he hit the inhaler. You know, the inhaler makes your lungs expand. So as soon as he hit, his lungs expanded and the bone popped through his lung, I guess. So he keeps talking about he can't breathe, but they're like, man, Jit, don't check in. You're going to be all right. Don't go to the police. You straight. Just chill, lay down. But the whole time, he's dying. You know what I mean? Everybody thinking like he good. Just lay down. Within 10 minutes, Jit dead.
Damn.
Now they got a helicopter flying in taking him out. So that's probably the worst one, right? I mean, I've seen people get their eyeball knocked out, all types of crazy stuff. But that dude actually got killed behind that.
Damn. Do you think that did the JIT camps make you more violent as a person?
Yeah, it did. I learned how to tone it down a lot, but a lot of it still remains with me. It definitely did. It ain't something that I wish to have on me, but it's something that I can't that I couldn't deny. You know what I mean? I had to fully embrace that environment and make it a part of me. Like I couldn't halfway with it. You can't have no conflict. You just gotta forget about everything else. Forget about the free world. Forget about all that stuff and just focus on what you at and where you're doing right now. It's like a war zone all the time. So,
and that's what I want
it definitely scars you.
Okay. And this last question before we end part one, man. Last question I'm gonna ask you. Being that in these adult, okay, you in these adult compounds. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. What I was gonna say. Hold on one moment. You in these trying to think what I was about to say. Hey, y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that like and subscribe button for me, man. Let me just change up the line of questioning real quick. On part two. What happened? No, that's what yourself, and you put in a lot of work since you've been in the DOC. Is your time pretty much smooth sailing now, or any day it could change?
It's pretty much smooth sailing, but it's always unpredictable. It's always one wrong word, you know, one false move, and it's all over with. Because regardless of the fact, you still got to react when it's time to react.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this one more question. Let me see where your mindset is right now. If you was to be released today, would you try to go legit, or would you get it by any means? What's your mindset like now as far as release?
Nah, it's definitely legit. Yeah, that lifestyle ain't what I want. It definitely ain't what I want. It's what I thought I wanted back then when I was legit, but it definitely ain't what I want. This I wouldn't recommend this for nobody or wish this on nobody. Yeah, I'm trying to stay as far away from DOC or any kind of crime as I can. It ain't get it by any means. I'm gonna do it legit, yeah.
Got you. Hey, listen up, man. That's part one. I'm sorry, this got to be short. It has something to do. This is Florida Prison Talk. This is my man Goonie. We're gonna be doing 3 parts. I appreciate you, bro. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And before we go, Goonie, you got anything you want to say to the people out there?
Yeah, man. You know, I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next 2 coming out. Check out music. I got some stuff on YouTube. If you got, matter of fact, can you put a link on there somewhere?
Put the link in the comments. I'm gonna pin it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, right. Check it out. That's coming straight out. That's coming straight out the press, man. I'm doing all that myself, man. Check it out.
Gonna put that link gonna be in the comments. I'm gonna see his link for his music, and hopefully pretty soon he start his own YouTube page with talk about what he's been through and run that bag up. Hey, easy win. Florida Prison Talk. My man Goonie. We out of here to part 2. Peace.